Brother, sister, general, welcome to another edition of EBX Discussion. Current subscriber, new subscriber, anybody that view. One salutes you and thank you. And that's brother, sister, family in the world, online. Y'all know how I do it. A global perspective and protection. I was just speaking on that on the podcast I did yesterday. And see, what was that podcast about? What was it? Oh, solid family spirit. That's what I was speaking on. But some positive and some hard truths, because that's what make a strong warrior out of me and you and us, those who are listening. Remember, we ride along with one another. We're not no damn followers. We're changing that damn narrative, right? I always say, folks, leaders and teachers with a student spirit. So be thankful if one is at that space. And welcome to another Ease House of Nature, and just have a seat here on the couch on the beautiful banner here, looking on to nature, because be thankful if we are educated about nature and know the beauty of it and appreciate it and notice it, because people can go through this whole life and not even notice what they're in every day. And that's Mama Nature. So I'm grateful for it. That's why I did it was a little small clip I did, and I'll just stop for a moment and just looking up into the sky and breathing, and just appreciate, the great things in our life amongst the challenges. So that's why we meditate, speak, and get into deep thought, and nobody don't always have to see it, fight those battles when we're not around or the world can't see it. Cause that's when we become that general that a lot of us are today. And those who are seeking and searching, may that great divine keep you strong and keep you prospering. And I'm telling you, harmony, having harmony is a divine gift. Harmony with the inner self it can take practice, awareness, learning, but we know when we know righteously, right? So never forget, having harmony isn't easy to come by. Inner harmony, that is harmony with the inner self. It can take a lifetime, decades, a lot of practicing, going through the ups and downs, wrong choices, mistakes. But be thankful if we get to a space where we go, and we can breathe, even in the middle of chaotic things going on around us, coming through person, place, thing. But be thankful if one is vigilant and seeing through to the core of ourselves, so we can show others to see into the core of themselves. Everyone has to lead their own journey, right? So again, harmony is a divine gift, harmony with that inner self. It's beautiful. It's wonderful, and we have our joyful times, our fun times. And then we have those times when it's what, generals? When we stand on business. But things like this on the banner, ambiance, as I got on the big screen in front of me. And I do get out in nature too. I always keep, as I say, I always have something positive to look forward to. Like the hip hop break I always have, I always look forward to that. I like that. And just sharing the little hip hop music, again, remember, I love all genres. I played a little classical music. I love that. Marching band type music, as my son Ethan is involved in. As I said, he plays the French horn. Lord Lamont plays the guitar, and Sister Angel, which is Ethan's sister, she plays the viola, which is something like the violin. So I love hearing authentic sounds of different instruments. So I'll play that sometimes in the intro, which I did in that video called The Power of the African Drum. And I put that in the end screen. And I went to a concert Ethan had with his peers and his band. And I just love that authentic sound. So you'll hear that from time to time in the intro. And that's in that podcast called The Power of the African Drum. And I went in on it, that's where a lot of new artists can really learn about themselves, their African culture. And to my brothers and sisters, melanated brothers and sisters, we can learn a lot about our culture, learning things about our ancestors and the powers and abilities they had even way before technology. As I said, we had alchemists even then. I did a podcast on that too. That's why I had a depiction of Pharaoh on the banner, because Pharaoh was one of many alchemists in those times. Ponder that. Way before technology. Some of them even predicted the future. Some of them even knew what would come, But of course, in the old history books, as we all know, wicked entities came along and stole melanated brothers and sisters' ideas and tried to make it their own, But that's a whole nother podcast. But a lot of us are aware of that now. We keep that in our memory bank. But, we grow, learn, get better, and become greater within our spiritual realm, as I always say. Yep, so we're going to get into it. Those who've been riding along, keep that harmony, It's a divine gift. It really is. Harmony with that inner self. It's beautiful because if you got harmony with inner self, everything we touch will become harmony too, even through the mix of the storms, because everyone has to learn, There's no negotiation with that. One has to learn unless they don't give a damn and they don't care. Well, let me know how that work out with your don't give a damn ass. Real talk, because life will make your ass care. Real talk, unless you just want to live in misery and toxicity and danger. Feel sorry for you, because I don't care how corny people think righteous is or how it sound. It's the benefits outweigh the challenges. Real talk. Keep on living, buddy. As I said, my grandmother said, rest in peace and in power, as well as my granddad. All right. So we're going to break down the topic, of course, and I do have a summary on the power of divine harmony with inner self. We're going to get into that. But before we get to that and the hip hop break, I want to stop on my books. I do write, I meant to say, because I said I have other hobbies one likes to do, as many of us do. Salute to those who cultivate their hobbies and not getting lost in this world, the toxicity of this world. Person, place, thing, social media, etc. The toxic part of it. Be thankful if one has that willpower, because again, it can be very, very challenging. I don't never want to come off like having positive things within oneself and being able to deflect things and keeping ourselves with harmony. I'm never going to come off like that's an easy thing. It's a process, We get stronger. We see this. We receive in that good old pineal gland. Righteous things, though. Not naive at all. That's a thing of the past. Real talk. All right. Well, I'm going to get to this book. I got 2 books. Unlocking the Vault, as I always mention. And I've read pages from it in past podcasts. And I have another book called Solitude Strength. And I will be reading. I'm up to page 10. And again, I write these pages when I'm volunteering at my son's school. Ethan, salute, which I'll be volunteering tomorrow. Today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. So I'll volunteer tomorrow. I already told him I'll be there tomorrow. So, yep, because sometimes I do Thursdays, but I wanted to stop for a minute and meditate with my brothers and sisters, spell breakers who ride along with the brother. Remember, when we're speaking, think of it as we're speaking to that great divine, because this is what I do when I'm not speaking, It's just beautiful when we got generals and warriors riding along with us, and we all speaking to that divine spirit within our soul, and it'll radiate on the outside, and we'll see things like that. Is beautiful. Yeah, so I'm up to page 10 in Solitude Strength. Salute to the faculty at my son's school and the children I've come to know and connect with. And again, I'll keep those updated on that. I'll be volunteering tomorrow. All right. So so that's why I write my pages to my book. Again, first book, Unlocking the Vault, which is 50 pages. And throughout podcasts, whether past or present or sometime in the future, you hear me read from pages from those books. And the next book I'll be reading from is Solitude Strength. And they're just compositions, but they say book on, I just call it a book. Who knows? Maybe one will publish it in the future. I'm just flowing with that great divine and Mama Nature puts in one's heart. When we can do that, brothers and sisters, you tell me what can stop us when we flow in what? What do the most powerful philosophers say when we're flowing naturally? It just feels so much better. Yeah, but again, look for that in the future. I just wanted to stop on that for a minute. Unlocking the Vault and Solitude Strength. And here in the near future, I'll be reading from Solitude Strength. And I'm up to 10 pages. And I usually stop at 50. So that was a little side note. And another side note, this is harmony on the banner. It sets the tone for the day. It's a form of meditation. And as I spoke on another ambiance picture I had on the banner, another podcast I had made, it had must meditate on the banner. And it was the same type of setting ambiance, because I'll be doing a lot of these. Because again, look at it. Just imagine if we were sitting in this living room looking out to the nature. Imagine waking up in this beautiful home. Man, you can't tell me. It'll make you want to be positive. If you mean in this type of environment, then that's something going on within your core. Because some of us, no matter what environment we're in, we still can have that harmony deep within, And that's what we're going to get into. But again, that's what's on the banner, Harmony sets the tone every day. Deep meditation. Take it serious, folks. Meditation is a way of life, especially when it comes to those pivotal moments in our life. Whoever we are, wherever we are, wherever part of the world we're in right now. And I always say, folks, say it together. Good day, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever time zone one is in. What I always say, folks, global perspective. We start that righteous protection spirit within ourselves, and then it's a righteous ripple effect. Never forget about that realm in our behavior, even when we're not around others. Our behaviors and deep core thoughts always matter, because where the mind goes, the body goes. You hear me say that a lot. So, man, fight every battle that comes through our psyche, Yep, so let's get into it. Leaders and teachers with a student spirit. I do have 2 spell breaker statements, and I do have a summary breakdown on the power of divine harmony, within our inner self, because that's where everything begins. Like I said, the center of our realm is Africa. It really is, and that's facts. Yep, so think of as our inner soul as a sun or Africa, where all the beautiful resources reside deep in our soul. Because I claim Africa, and I claim being black. Again, my mama black and my daddy black. Now, I'm light skinned. It might be some Caucasian mixed in there somewhere down the road. That's a reality. But I'm black. That's what dominates. Melanated. Again, my granddaddy was black. My grandma was black. My daddy was black. My mama was black. So that's what I'm claiming. Real talk. So, because if we really study our ancient ancestors and what they did, man, I love being black. And as I said in a song, if I transition, went away, came back, I still be black. Facts. Standing on that, we got to be who Great Divine called us to be. We try to be anything outside of that. Let me know how that work out. Be ourselves at the end of the day, unapologetically. As long as what? We're not hurting ourselves or hurting no one else. That's the main principle in this life. But go through those fires. Refine yourself. You just love yourself and thank yourself later. And the bonus is we connect to others that have been through the same fires, and we can relate and fight against the real enemy, brothers and sisters. What I think some, not all, what some people forget, who the real enemy is, those that don't care about nature and things of quality and righteous things, There's people like that. I feel sorry for them, because I said before, and I say again, I feel this in my soul, man. When we're, again, evil, rotten, demonic, and we don't want to change, or we don't righteously repent, deeply repent, and we just think it's going to go away. If we don't pay for the harmful things we've done to ourselves and others, and just living free falling through life, danger. If Mama Nature don't teach us in life, it'll teach us in death. That's a horrible lesson. That's a horrible way to learn, real talk. So we're going to transition as warriors and generals and pass that power on to our generation that's coming up, because we do got some young brothers and sisters that are warriors. It depends on what? That environment. But again, it always begins with inner self. So then always look and research and look to have and keep harmony, because it's a divine gift within, and then everything we touch will be harmony. It just depends on what we're touching, what they think, and how they are, But as I said yesterday, be emotionally detached from toxicity. Please, I beg you. All right. So we can keep that harmony within and see the great things that may come. Because again, when we're living in toxicity, if we're aware and not doing anything to change, we just burning bridges and missing all our blessings. So many of us know the blessings that we have had and gotten, and a lot of us appreciate it. That's what makes a strong, firm general. Salute. All right, let's get to this summary breakdown. And then we're going to get to this hip hop break. And I got 2 spell breaker statements, and we're going to keep on flowing as our powerful philosophers do out here in the world, online, global generals out here. I salute to my generals, man, younger or older, brother or sister, family that ain't giving up in this life and staying whole, deep within that divine harmony, inner self. Let's go. All right, leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Let's go. The power of divine harmony lies in aligning human thought and life with the unchanging, orderly principle. Like I said a little while ago, that word principle is very important, of that great divine, creating transformative, spiritual, powerful spiritual healing and wholeness or peaceful existence. It is not forced. That's why you hear most philosophers say natural, all right? Forced, but rather a surrender that brings inner peace or wholeness, or harmony with inner self. Mental clarity and consistent, purposeful living to life to life's chaotic situations, which you hear a lot of us say, being able to stand firm in the middle of chaos. I know we hear that word a lot, but that's the word that best describes things that goes on around us, person, place, things, social media, the world, the news, politicians, celebrities, sports players, artists, you name it, because it's a lot of things coming at us. If not all angles, every angle. So if we can have that Tyson spirit in the video I made, matter of fact, that's going to go in the end screen. Having a Tyson spirit. And salute to Tyson, who's a true warrior and he a general. Real talk. Salute to Tyson. And many brothers like Tyson and sisters that have that Tyson spirit, because a lot of us have that Tyson spirit. Not that we're taken away from Tyson. We're just inspired, and admire Brother Tyson. So I'll put that in the end screen. And it shows one of his boxing matches where he beat a Caucasian dude. So it was just a representation. So that'll be in the end screen. And the power of the African drum. So those 2 podcasts are very powerful, and I put those in the end screen. All right. Tyson spirit. So that's what being in the middle of chaos is all about. Like that DMX video, rest in peace and in power. Do they know who we be? That, if I'm not mistaken, that was the title of it. And I did a podcast on that. I had a depiction of DMX on the banner and their thumbnail. And it was a part of that video when he was in his car. He was driving up and all this chaos is going on around him. And we know DMX, he went out swinging. DMX was not playing while he was alive. And rest in peace and empire. He left us too soon, but he went out swinging. So he didn't give up, real talk. And we know he come through some brutal challenges as well as Tyson. So those people like that we can learn from, real talk. And his spirit, DMX, will live on through us as well as those in our families, brothers and sisters, those we deem righteous, we held dear, as I always say, may they rest in peace and in power. And that's from my family to those who are listening in the world, online, global perspective and protection. All right. So that's what studying harmony and keeping harmony can do. Shield us from toxicity on the outside, coming through person, place, thing. Key aspects of the power of divine harmony with inner self. Healing, which is very, very important. One has to heal. There is no negotiation from anything that's been hindering us or depression or suppression. Never suppress anything. That's danger. Deal with any and every issue that may come, whether it's inner self or on the outside. If we're able to now, if we're not handicapped, if we're aware, upright human being, that's when we have no excuses, and that great divine is going to hold us accountable. All right. Healing and transformation. Great divine harmony is a calming, like this banner here. That's why I put this on the banner to set the tone. It's a calming sense of peace or wholeness on this banner, because you can't tell me that wouldn't make you feel good in the morning, waking up to every morning. Like I say, I wake up to birds chirping every morning. I swear, when it's beautiful outside, because when it's raining, I really don't hear them. But when it's a beautiful sunny day, them birds be chirping like crazy. And I had the birds chirp. I recorded it and I played it in that podcast We must meditate. I played it in the beginning of that. That's a beautiful sound, man. It really is. I'm talking about authentic sound, not nothing AI generated, a real authentic sound of a bird chirping. I say a bird chirping, listening to nature or paying attention to nature and hearing family having fun and enjoying each other and hearing kids playing. Those are all of the same frequencies, because I stay across the street from a school. So I just love hearing kids playing and just being free. Because that's what I like about Ethan. Ethan will go outside and play. He loves riding his bike and the little skate thing I bought him. And he does other things. And I don't really like him to be on phones and social media too much. And neither does his mom. So be thankful if, we able to guide kids and coach them to do other things, their hobbies and authentic things outside this social media. Because I feel sorry for those who get caught up in this social media world, because anybody can be caught up, real talk. All right, last but not least, summary. Matter of fact, I'll wait till I come back from this hip hop break. And just the last little bit of the summary I was beginning to read about healing, because I think healing is the core result of great things coming in our life. We had to put into action. Now I know I spoke on deep meditative prayer and stuff like that, but I also know you got to put in that action. We can't just sit on our ass and just, things can come, but it's going to take emotion from an individual. We got to put into action first, because we hear that saying, what we put out, what we put back, right? But we got to put that action out. I'm talking about a righteous action. We got to not, when I say make it happen, not in a toxic way, but again, got to be about action in this life. We learn this on this journey, All right. So, as you hear the most powerful philosophers say, action, not reaction, especially a toxic reaction. That's why I'm so big on impulses, because that's what got me in trouble. And a lot of us, some of us, that's like the core issue of a lot of our storms we went through. Wrong impulses and wrong choices, some of us. So that's why a lot of us are standing firm like an oak tree. Study the oak tree. The oak tree been through many storms and stand still. It can be a tornado. It's the strongest tree of all trees. I think I did a podcast on that too. Forgive me for fumbling. But yeah, it's be like an oak tree, stand through any storm. You know what I'm saying? The rays of the sun, soak it in. Be like the sun, all powerful, because that's what the great divine and Mama Nature is. All right. So let's get to this hip hop break. Let me see. Yep. I gotta play with the old computer for a minute, and this might not be a long one, because sometimes I end up being an hour. It just depends on how one feels. And again, thank those coming to E's House of Nature Ambiance, again, to set the tone for the day. Always got to have something positive to look forward to. It's a way of life, meditation, way of life. Deep thinking is beautiful when we can do it, because again, I know we're all on different journeys and different parts of the road, but again, as long as we're not hurting ourselves or hurt no one else, sometimes we got to make peace and take peace. Got to have moments to ourselves to keep ourselves sane and strong, and that righteous willpower. All right. So we can be able to discipline ourselves, children, family, significant other, and brothers and sisters. We can show them so they can help themselves. So, and a lot of us, we ain't new to this. We true to this. So that's what this song represents. It say I'm new to this, not true to this, but this what you can say to yourself. This is a global thing. All right. True to this. Be back after this.
I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, not new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX, and I always rock, yeah. I straight up from my soul. I lift my family, sisters, and bro, and my children, and that's all I see. I want us all in the streets, meant to be free. A mind, body, and soul. Stay up on the go and never stop, yeah. And I said so. Yeah. A positive power, man, I feel it all up in my brain. We never know what's gonna happen while we on this plane. complain. Yeah, in this life, do things to stay sane. We got no time meant to be insane. Yeah, and stay in our positive lane. Yeah, I don't give a damn if it's dawn or rain. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX. I done say things, man, that keep us moving on. These songs in this life, man, we gotta stay strong. You can see, never be weak. Yeah, man, I'm trying to be free and keep on protecting, yeah, as you and me. Yeah, and I will drop this kind of stuff all the time. How I do this in my rhyme, I connect to that divine. I get it in my brain and stand up on this ground. And yeah, on this plane, I'm with this positive sound. I can't stop this, man, I don't see no quit, no. I ain't new to this, I'm too busy being true to this. True to this, true to this, true to this. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX. One. Yeah, I said yeah. One. EBX. One. Let go, let go. Yeah. One. Let go. I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I ain't new to this, I'm true to this. Yeah, I never knew to this, I'm true to this. EBX,
one. Real talk. That's what you say to yourself. One. That means we one, brothers and sisters, spiritually. You know, that's how deep this realm goes. But it depends on how deep one is willing to go in that core. It's just amazing, especially when we get nature. We get out. I mean, really get out of nature, not just to look good or sound pop. You know, really get in nature and just be amazed what will pop up in our spirit. Real talk. What's wrong with this thing? Okay, here we go. Oh, yeah. The next song is Takes Time. You know, takes time in this life. You know, we got to know that. And that's the next song. I played this song before, but I'm gonna play it again. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. This thing acting funny. Okay, yep, here we go, brothers and sisters. It takes time, you know, but don't take too much time, because time is precious. Real talk. Be back after this. Takes time. Played this song before, but a kind of reminder, and for those who may not have heard it, as I always say. Hear the children playing? You hear that? Y'all hear that? I told you. Yep, be back after this. Let's go.
Yeah, yeah. EBX. It takes time. Yeah, we don't have to grind. Yeah, I promise we'll be fine. Brothers and sisters. Yeah, whatever that we need, whatever we want, up in this life. Yeah, it takes time. Yeah, a man will be fine. Yeah, I'm doing it too, making sure I do what I gotta do to make it through. Good things in this life is what we choose. And in this life, of course, we don't wanna lose. And making sure a man that we see. And in this life, try our best, man, to stay free. And watching our children and family. And in this life, gotta be, man, the righteous peace. I never stop, man, to do this hip hop. I keep on doing this, man, my brain locked on smart things, cause that's what we are. I be good, don't care about being a star. I keep on pushing through, always got the good news. Yeah, inspiring things, making sure we never have the blues. I stay grounded, all up in the soul. Yeah, family, sisters and bros. Woo! But it takes time, yeah, and we don't have to grind. Brothers and sisters, I promise, yeah, I will be fine. I keep pushing, I like the soldier do. I never stop, I never get stuck to no glue. Toxic things that stay up in this life, and making sure we sing good things and joy up in our soul. I stay up on the toes and on our go. Regions and teachings all in my brain, and making sure that a general stay in our lane.
here and never be distracted by the devil you see here. That's why I do this, so while I'm on these beats and never stop. I love being the E. Try my best to make the whole world see. It takes time, but don't have to grind.
We don't have to grind.
I promise we'll be fine. Brothers and sisters, in this life, what we need, what we want, it takes time. Yeah, and we don't have to grind. Yeah, man, it takes time. Yeah, yeah, man, I promise we'll be fine.
Sometimes
we don't have to grind.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, yeah, I let it come natural.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes time.
Woo, brothers and sisters. Yeah, real talk. Yeah. I had to drown that out. Yeah, but yeah, it takes time, you know, and again, a lot of these generals out here, those who are awakened, it's because we took time, you know, and went in deep in ourselves and came out a general, you know, a warrior, you know, and learning the art of balance, which can be challenging. It takes practice. It takes time, like the song. And, but man, when we can get to a place of balance, as I said yesterday, actually, when we can emotionally detach ourselves from things, that's when we truly will see, and we will develop that harmony, you know, within our inner self. Real talk. So, but you know when we know, and I'm gonna get into a question of how we know we have harmony, you know, with that inner self. How do we know? You know, excuse me for that little noise. I don't know if you can still hear the kids playing outside. As I said, I like that frequency. But yeah, how do we know we have harmony with inner self? You know, what do we view? You know, how do we react to things? You know, what are our triggers? You know, what do we have in the core of our soul, which is important? How are we when the world don't see us? You know, can we still have harmony when no one's listening, you know, or you're by yourself? You know, these are the questions we ask ourselves, you know, so, and see if we have harmony within our core, you know. So again, only those individuals on the journey, only we know what we feel in our soul. You know, we can project whatever out onto the world, but only we know, and that great divine and Mama Nature knows what's in our heart. So search inside ourselves and ask ourselves, do I have harmony in my inner self? Because I've asked myself that, you know. Give ourselves a little test, you know. It don't always have to be dramatic. Sometimes it can be fun and amazing, you know. Of course, we get to the bad things in ourselves and, you know, and filter through that and make ourselves better. But guess what, folks? There's some amazing things that sometimes we let lay dormant in our mind, body, and soul. So that's what going deep within is all about. Get through the bad things so we can get to the good stuff, you know, and we project great things out onto the world righteously. So number 2 statement, that was Spellbreaker statement number 1, leaders and teachers with a student spirit. Number 2, never stop cultivating harmony inside and outside, you know, by any means, at any cost. Sometimes, again, as I said in the podcast yesterday, every so often, that word no, the word no can be a beautiful thing. So that's how that's one way. There's many ways to cultivate that harmony in that inner self. But saying no, we learn this on this journey. Better learn that word. It's a beautiful word. All right. Kind of went in on that yesterday, so I don't want to go in on that too much. But never stop cultivating harmony inside and outside. Because if we have a cleansed environment, as much as it can be, because, you know, I don't want to get into we're not holier than thou, the super perfect person. That's not what I mean. But we're doing everything it takes to maintain that harmony in that inner self. We're there. You know, we let nothing break that. We sealed up all the cracks. We good, you know. Be as disciplined as possible. Mind, body, and soul. Real talk. Like the 3 flames I had on the banner of that podcast I did about we must meditate. It's a way of life. We can meditate anywhere, you know. Take a moment and think, especially in pivotal times. That's brother, sister, family, in the world, online. Yep. Yes, I meant to rhyme. I do that. Sometimes I don't be meaning to rhyme. It just be coming up in my spirit. So I just go ahead and rhyme because I do music a lot. So it's in my soul. And, you know, a lot of us that cultivate our habits, not habits, but our hobbies, We get rid of the habits, bad habits. But when we cultivate, like, we got something we love to do, a hobby, and that's this an open field, whatever that is. And we've practiced and done it for so long, it becomes a part of us. So that's kind of how music is. And I'm sure many artists, those who really like music, whether you're an artist or not, it becomes a part of us. So that's why you hear me rhyme from time to time, because I do it. So I've been writing rhymes since the 90s. So it's a part of me, as well as others. Salute other generals out there, whether it's brother, sister, family. We got things that we can do. I'm talking about good things, it becomes a part of us. It becomes what? Seventh nature. All right. So those are the two spell breaker statements. And I'm going to read this last summary on harmony is a divine gift. And I actually got a divine daughter. Her name is Harmony. And she made me this. It says Father on it. And each letter, she wrote a statement, like an affirmation by each letter. And I'll read that in the future too. And she gave it to me on Father's Day. So salute. Man, be thankful of the young youth that we have taught along the way, and help them to see a greater life. That's wonderful. When we can teach the youth, it's a beautiful thing. And that's young brother, young sister, male or female. So that's awesome, So I'll read that sometime, and I'm looking at it right now, but it's kind of far away, and I don't want to get up and get it, because I'm getting ready to salute your divine warrior's own or general's own to your divine life. So salute to my divine children and biological, as well as family in the world, online. Y'all know how I do it. Again, global perspective and global protection. All right. And so I'm gonna lead you off and thank those for coming in to another edition of EBX Discussion and E's House of Nature and/or Ambiance, setting the tone for those who's listening. And this is a form of meditation, looking out onto the nature in the beautiful living room here. So you just chilling at E's house, having a discussion, conversation, a little upliftment, and setting the tone for one's day who's listening. All right. Last summary. Healing. I started this before the hip hop break, but I'm going to finish it. Healing and transformation. Divine harmony is a calming, restorative force that brings mental clarity and spiritual health by aligning with great divine's will, not being naive, not, being on this holier than thou cloud, being a realist at the same time, but balance. You're balanced too, but positive nonetheless. Balance is a beautiful thing when we learn it, but it has to be learned. It don't just come. And it comes with what? Action, folks. We put out that action, and Great Divine and Mama Nature will show us the action we put out, because when we put out divinely, we'll get back divinely. And that's beautiful, So again, thank those for riding along with the brother. And Lord Lamont and I, we'll be having a discussion Saturday. And I think we're going to speak on a little hip hop, the pyramids. And we wanted to, because I remember we asked each other, do we have like comedians? Was our ancestors comedians? So we want to dive into that too, because we got comedians out here that's keeping us laugh. I love comedy. Me and Lord Lamont, we got so many podcasts on hip hop and comedy, because we love those both. We love comedy just as much as we love hip hop. So you will see a lot of comedy heavy hitters podcasts on our channel too. So if you want to go in there and check it out, we spoke on many comedians, some with us, some not. So we wanted to dive in deep. We want to see what the spirit of comedy, where it came from, So we had to have had ancestors who were funny, like our family members, stuff like that. So we're gonna dive into that too, And of course, we're gonna also speak on, as I said yesterday, maybe some challenges Lord Lamont and myself will share to those who listening and the world, And know that we go through challenges too. And that's what being authentic is all about, even when it's not easy, And when we do that, when we do things like that, brothers and sisters, we can never go wrong. I'm telling you. And like I said in that summary, keep on cultivating that harmony deep within, And again, having harmony is a divine gift. It's not really, it's a process. It's practicing, it's not something, we have to have that clarity in our soul, to have that harmony, Again, as we all say, we can't be wrapped up in toxicity. How can we see harmony like that, especially within ourselves, So, yep. So experiences in life is the best teacher. So we better learn, I'm telling you, so we can transition and leave this place better than it was when we came in. And as brother, sister, family in the world, online, real talk, global perspective, and never ever lose what we have been cultivating and developing. Some of us, it was hard, it was challenging to get to a wholeness or a peaceful place in our life, So never lose that harmony within that inner self. Salute. This has been brought to you by Mama Nature and that Great Divine.